I think Link Storm is one of those things that people just kind of think about as being pretty strong. Generally, I feel like Link, they all kind of have their own place. Link Waters, as you can see here, what I'm playing right now, is very common in the front line. Link Earth kind of doesn't really exist. Link Storm is more like a PvE thing. Link Holy kind of doesn't really exist. Link Fire is kind of famous for endgames. I feel like Link Storm is just kind of like always sort of exists as this thing that's pretty strong but can kind of be anything. So this is my Link Storm front line and full team that also kind of counts as a Xanacorn feature because I hatched Xanacorn recently. He came out in a featured banner with a mythic who I'm now forgetting. But I hatched a lot because it was increased rates, right, on a featured banner. But unfortunately, I didn't hatch Xanacorn. So I actually got him recently and am now super excited to be using him in a video. So this is my Link Storm team. Have what's his face? The Galvpish Shaman in the front line. One thing that went over my head when I was making this team is, oh yeah, his passive only activates when there are mythics on the enemy field. And I kind of have, at this point, just associate mythics with the humanoids. But I was using XYZ in my front line, who's a mythic, so he didn't have piercing. We'll see that matter later on in this video. But otherwise, just using a bunch of storm monsters. There's a lot of really good storm monsters. A lot of them revolve around stun, but not all of them do. For example, Doomgoo or Vixie are great, just all around general Link storm monsters. And Doomgoo, even though he doesn't have Link, he still functions as a strong monster in this team. So that's gonna do it for the intro, I guess. Let's talk about the gameplay. I got lucky that I was going up against a Link water team, honestly, because right off the bat, you saw I used those assisted thunders from Xanacorn and did a pretty decent amount of damage to him. And it just kind of got me off to a good start. Here, because I've got the Hazuki and Celestine sleeping, I'm able to shapeshift into his Hazuki. And finally, I can Desperate Shield from Doomgoo. I didn't want to do it because Celestine was awake. But now I've got him pretty much going. I have Xanacorn charged. I have his Hazuki on my field. Xanacorn finally wakes up, so I can Void Bloodthirst the Penguinator. Hazuki now also wakes up, which means he can kill Xanacorn. But let's see. I get the turn back, and what would I do here? Oh, I just times up. Yeah, because Virus Dragon Zeta came in fast enough to get a turn before Penguinator. I put Penguinator to hold ground, and then because Xanacorn has Stun Absorber, or Stun Converter, I killed the Gaia Wolf with Nullifying Strike, so Xanacorn could get the turn back, kill Penguinator, but he just gave up. On to match 2. Gaia Wolf doesn't really have a target. I'm totally lying. Gaia Wolf can kill Pandornorka if he wants, but I feel like that's not the smartest move, because Pandornorka doesn't have a target either, and honestly, none of my people have a target, except... Oh, I could have stun pulsed into a Tempest Annihilation, but I guess, right, I didn't want to do that because I knew Garden Fairy Pieris had Countershock, and I was not ready to take that, but unfortunately, I had to take that dual Confidence Strike. His Arbustodon will have the Catapult Mortar ready. He'll have to sacrifice Pieris, but honestly, I feel like that's worth it for him because if the rest of his Garden Fairies are at the front of his team, then it just kind of makes sense. Centurion comes in and goes for the Counter-Strike to kill Pandornorka. It's not going to be enough to kill. I am looking at this, and I have a Link Instant Hypnotize ready. I go for Arbustodon because he had Purify, and I guess so does Centurion, but I don't know if he has the secret skill on, and obviously it's a while before he gets a turn, and I'm able to just times him up with the Sunflower. Tremorgore there is able to kill whoever that was, one of the Garden Fairies, I don't know. And then Transient Bash here is going to clean up Garden Fairy Clover. So his Avioronics comes in. I have a target with Time's Up now again. And I have Doomgoo ready to do a Desperate Shield. Unfortunately for me, that Sleep Revenge put Avioronics to sleep because he's a monster I kind of need to kill in order for Tremorgore to be able to do something. So I think I'll honestly Spear of Despair Jasmine, and then I think I Times Up Avioronics and Nephthys. I've never said her name out loud. I feel like I say Nephthys. I don't know how to say it. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I killed her. His Momo comes in and gets a turn from XYZ. His Hazuki now can also kill Tenguko. I feel like he can't really fast strike XYZ, so instead he goes for the Repulse, which is unfortunate because now I have to eat that Volkaiga entrance, but my Ryzen is overwatched. So, oh wait, I totally have a stun absorber. Yeah, what am I talking about? I'm totally chilling here because I can Beast Hunter Momo, and then I can, well, I guess I can't really do anything with XYZ or Ryzen for that matter, but I use the Time Strike because our Bustodon was at like 130, so obviously that kills the Musharu. Leomitis comes in, and I don't know what I would do because he can Beast Hunter Leomitis or Slayer Break Leomitis. He has Hazuki with Final Spurt and Loki kind of tearing through my team at this point. But luckily, Tremorgore is awesome. I can ambush, and then he doesn't have a way to kill Penguinator before I do the Slayer Ban all. But it didn't even matter because I wasn't scared of our Bustodon, so it was actually smarter to do the double Retribution because I know that's going to kill, as opposed to Slayer Ban all, which might not kill Hazuki. But able to wrap up that one there in the end game. Moving on to the next match against Baba Yaga. He goes for the retreat into Jawshank into Cannibalize Balanceon right off the bat, which also brings in his AoE. So I lose Panzer at a high tide. Lucky for me, I only ate one sleep on XYZ. Here, this is where I checked the passive and realized, shoot, I don't have piercing because I would have just killed AoE and Hazuki, but I couldn't. Which was unfortunate for me. He goes for the Vengeance on Tremorgore. Luckily, Tremorgore's a beast and doesn't die. Now I have the dual Slayer Bane ready. I actually decided to go for Jasmine because I wanted to take out his stun protection so that now I can Tempest Annihilation, get the turn right back, and then because of Karina getting stunned by XYZ on entrance, I have enough seconds to stun pulse and get the turn again from Karina with Tempest Annihilation, and then I put his Momo to hold ground. So if he could, I don't know, Absorber-Morph, I guess, but instead he just decides to kill Galva Shaman, but then his Momo dies to my Tremorgore entrance because Tremorgore's a beast, and then I can give turn to XYZ and I knock back his Spectre Fox, so I don't have to worry about stun absorbs. Kill the Voidress with Ambush. Now I've got Tempest Reaper for this Jawshank. I kill Hazuki and Jawshank. His Bartholazar comes in, who I'm not scared of. I skip before killing because I don't want to wake up Carmilla with that lava entrance. Xanacorn gets the turn. I can use Void Bloodthirst on anybody. I go for Captain Canine because XYZ is going to get the turn from the White Titan, and because I have an Entomb ready for Carmilla or Hazuki. I decided to go for Hazuki because Final Spurt is going to be killing us faster than his Carmilla can. At this point, it's definitely over. And he just disconnected. I skipped through a couple seconds of that there. But it was a good match. Moving on to the final one against Evo. He has a Naughty Aurelius frontline. I don't know if you got the memo, pal, but this doesn't work anymore. I mean, I guess it still kind of works, but doesn't work as it used to. I do the instant stun flash there, I guess, to push Zabarius and Musashoid back. I didn't really need to do that, but I did anyway. Use the Swift True Hit on not a cruiser, I guess because I can Tempest Reaper or Chrono Killer Aurelius. Yeah, which I decided to do. And then with his lava entrance next in line, I decided to just have that kill Aurelius and not a cruiser. And because it came in at the same time as the Death Revenge, I still have my Galva Shaman. Luckily, it's been 100 seconds for him, so he can come in and instant charge with Razor Ray. But unluckily for him, one charge on a Laser Blast into Element Disadvantage is not going to kill my Pandronorca. His Death Roulette puts Razor Ray to hold ground. I'm able to kill his Cardi Grenade. Glaceron can come in, but can't really do anything. I guess you could try and Stunning Charge Pandronorca, but instead he goes for Tremorgore. Not sure why he did that. I Slayer Bane Zabarius, and now I'm able to Stun Pulse Poloboss. And again, because of the XYZ passive, the Stun Pulse will still keep him above 200 seconds, so I can Tempest Annihilation, which means I have the Bloodthirst charged after killing this Razor Ray. Hasn't been enough seconds for Deathgazer's entrance to activate, which is huge for me. I have a Sleep ready that I use on the Rock Colossus, and then a Transient Bash for the Moku. I can also ambush whoever, but at this point, he doesn't have any monsters left. And that is going to wrap up this match, which is also going to wrap up this video. So, huge fan of Link Storm, especially huge fan of Tremorgore, Xanacorn, Vigzigard, and Doomgoo, all really great monsters that I had a ton of fun using in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.